Hello, friends, and welcome back to Our Senior Power. I'm Mark Kirstein, and I'm going to take you through a couple more tips on how to use some of the most common artificial intelligence tools like large language models to make your life easier, to keep you safe online, and how to use them in specific applications. By now, you've probably heard of several of these applications. They come in the form of Microsoft's CoPilot, Google's Gemini, or OpenAI's ChatGPT. These large language models are largely just a software application that now allows the software to interact with you and understand human language and you to have a conversation back and forth, whether that's using your keyboard or talking to it directly. So what I'm going to do in the podcast that follows is I'm going to show you some specific applications that you're going to find valuable to use in your everyday life, make things easier, but also things that will help keep you safe online. And I'm actually going to give you some demos. I'm going to show you some of the prompts. I'm going to show you how to log in and create an account with ChatGPT so that you can get started with this useful tool, learn more, and then as we progress together, we'll get more and more in depth of the more advanced capabilities and things that you should be thinking about as you use these tools. All right, let's get started by opening up a ChatGPT window. You see in the top, I'm going to type in the ChatGPT URL or web address, and it's going to take me immediately to a ChatGPT screen. Now, one of the beautiful things about ChatGPT is you can always ask it for help, and it's there to help you. So don't just rely on what I'm sharing with you. Actually, look how immediately I can say, ChatGPT, can you help me set up an account? And it will create a detailed bullet point list. And this is before I've even created my own account. Right? Now, I'm not going to go into details here, but let's go up to the right-hand side, click on that to actually create the account. I'm going to type in my email address here. Now, I blur this out just for security reasons. The same thing that you should always be sensitive and safe and secure online. Make sure nobody gets hold of your private information. Now that I've created my email address in there, it wants me to create a password. Now, there's a whole bunch of things that we want to think about when we're creating a password, but the long and short of it is don't reuse old passwords, create a unique password, create one that is a phrase or something that you can remember, and include a combinations of letters and numbers and uppercase and lowercase. Write it down if you need to. Just don't save it on your computer. Okay, now that I've created my password, it prompts back and says, I've sent a code to your email. And this is the email that I used to sign up and create an account with. It sent a code to my email, and I'm going to need that code to continue. That's, again, another security procedure, but it's something that's important to make sure that you keep your account safe and secure. So I open up my email in another location, and I grab the code. It's very simple. I can just select it. I can write it down. I can copy it over, whichever I need. In this instance, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it into the ChatGPT window. There we go. Now, it's also asking me a little bit more information. It's asking my full name and my age. In this instance, I'm giving it my full name, but I'm going to use a fake birth date to confirm the age. And that is done. Now I've got my own ChatGPT account, which I can log in from using my email and my password. Now, notice that immediately what it does, it takes me on a tour and it asks me and it shows me how to use the tool. So it's giving me some immediate options where I just point and click and it'll walk me through various capabilities. So use the tool to improve your skill set, to get experience with it, to test things out. Before I move on to the next phase of our discussion today, let's just think about, for example, a couple things that I might do, and I can use ChatGPT to get my ideas started and simply ask questions and use simple language. Here we go. All right, now that we've created our first chat and we've asked our first question, let's take things to the next level. Before we jump in, let's look at a couple of quick tips to make the responses that we get out of ChatGPT as useful as possible. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to tell it what role we'd like to take or what expertise we'd like it to have. So for example, we might say you're a professional chef specializing in easy, healthy meals for seniors. Right? This helps the ChatGPT narrow the scope of its expertise and gives you more accurate responses, also within context of what you're looking for. Second, direct it how you'd like your answer. Explain the output in layman's terms, or keep it senior friendly. Give me detail, or keep it concise. Whichever is your style, tell it what you'd like, it'll respond. Finally, a key to prompting is have a conversation back and forth and ask for follow-ups. Don't search for the perfect prompt and try to get everything right all at once. Just get started, get the response that it has, use it for brainstorming, and then refine the answer. So I might say, make your output shorter, or give me just the steps that I need to take, or give me more detail on the sauce ingredients. Whatever it is that you're looking for, direct the ChatGPT to give you what you're looking for. Ask it to look up more things, ask it to add more things, whatever it is that you're looking for. Keep asking questions till you're satisfied with the responses that it's giving you. Then ask it for the output. Summarize our conversation in bullet point format so that I can use this as a menu, for example. Right, so let's look at a real example. A simple dinner idea for a single senior. As I enter my prompt, I want to start off by telling the GPT what the role I want it to play, what expertise I want it to have, and I want to ask it the specific question about the menu idea that I'm looking for. So you can see how ChatGPT suggests a few simple ideas along with a shopping list. Now let's refine it. That's better. Let's narrow it one more time. Perfect. Once you get the response that you like, you can copy it or print it, or even ask GPT to format it however you like. Let's wrap up this example with a summary request. And there it is, a simple, clear, ready-to-use recipe and a shopping list. You can use the same approach for recipes, shopping lists, even planning your next trip. Key is to be specific, give it some context, and ask follow-up questions until the output is just right for you. One of the great things about ChatGPT, it is fantastic at brainstorming and refining your own ideas. Let it be your companion. Bounce ideas, ask it for ideas, and refine it until you get what you want. Now, always focused on helping people stay safe online and being aware of online scams, particularly for seniors, because seniors are targeted for online scams a lot. While I could give you a lot of tips about cybersecurity, it's one of my expertises, and scams, I'd rather show you how to use ChatGPT for this purpose. Let's find out how to use ChatGPT so you can have your own cybersecurity expert at your beck and call, and you can ask it all kinds of questions, including when you think you're being scammed, so you can find out what those techniques are and avoid being taken advantage of. Now let's put ChatGPT to work as our personal cybersecurity expert. Here's my prompt. Then I'm going to ask, what are the top 5 scams seniors need to watch out for? As you can see, ChatGPT lists out the big ones like Medicare and Social Security scams, fake tech support calls, online shopping fraud, romance scams, fake charities. These are all pretty well-known things, but for us, if we're not used to them and don't expect them, we don't know what to do with them. Now let's test it with a real example. Imagine this email just arrived in your inbox. Looks urgent, mentions Medicare, and asks you to click on a link. Let's copy this email text and paste it into ChatGPT and ask it if this is for real or a scam. Now watch as ChatGPT walks us through why this is a scam, explaining the red flags, what to avoid clicking, how to report it safely. This example shows you how to use ChatGPT as your own trusted online security expert. Always look for help. Don't respond. Don't act on the urgency. Seek outside sources. ChatGPT, find your friend, find a family member, but don't send the money. Don't give gift cards. Don't give out your sensitive private information. In the next section, we're going to wrap up with a few simple ways to practice and build confidence using ChatGPT every day. All right, so it's time for us to wrap up our podcast for today. Let's review a couple things that we've covered today. First, we talked about how to create an account and use ChatGPT, just some of the basics, or any large language model, whether it's Gemini or CoPilot or any of the other ones that you've heard about. We've talked about how to set up clear and simple prompts, how to get better results based on the prompting and how you ask the right questions, but most importantly, how to start with one question and then ask more questions and refine your results and keep asking for more until you're satisfied with what you get. And of course, we looked at a couple of the valuable use cases and examples to show how to use AI. This is just the beginning. AI can do more than you can possibly imagine. First off, you can copy and paste text. We showed you how to copy an email into it, but you can upload documents and ask it to analyze them for you or give you a summarizer or give you feedback on them. You can even upload photos and ask questions. What is this? Or what's wrong with my plants? You can direct ChatGPT to go out and do things for you. Go out and summarize a specific website, organize your notes, write an email, do various things. And it's not just a simple search engine like Google. You simply ask it the question and it gives you a direct response. It doesn't make you do a whole lot of extra work. Just think about a couple of other things that you can do with it that you may not be aware of. You can be creative. First, of course, it can help you write stories. It can help you write journals, it can help you write emails, it can help format your text, but did you know it can also create images? It can either take your pictures and modify the images, or it can create images from scratch just by you asking it for specific things, including things like videos and music. It's amazing some of the capabilities that have become available, and most of them are still available for free. As we continue to explore in future podcasts, we're going to talk about some more of the advanced features, like how to use these images, how to use video, how to experiment and get out of the box and do more things with it, but also things like using ChatGPT without just typing, but actually talking to it. How you can set up an AI agent that'll go do things on your behalf. It's a little bit like the example that we gave you for cybersecurity, where you have a cybersecurity expert working for you, but even more powerful. So for now, don't get overwhelmed. Don't try to think too big. Focus on getting comfortable with the tool. Create your account, try a few examples, get the results, come back and look for more. Ask ChatGPT for help on anything that you want it to do, because that's part of what it does, is it will help you learn how to use AI and learn how to use some of these advanced features. And come back here for some future episodes. We're going to explore some more topics like how to use ChatGPT with your phone and with voice, and when it makes sense, or if it makes sense, to move to a paid version as opposed to a free version. Till then, don't get left behind by AI. Stay engaged, stay curious, be fearless, and learn. This is Mark Kirstein for Our Senior Power.